What we need to make a ring band is I'm going to use 2mm square wire, sterling silver, a ring mandrel, which has the numbers here on the side, rawhide hammer. This is a plastic dapping tool for tubing or mandrels. All your soldering equipment using hard solder, and this wonderful book that one of my teachers wrote, The Jeweler's Bench Reference by Harold O'Connor. In here you have a table of ring blank lengths. This is going to show you how to find the measurement of the ring by the thickness of the metal and the size of the ring that you want to create. So I'm going to use this ring measuring tool with numbers on it on the side to find my ring size. Perfect. Today we're going to make a size 6. So here you can measure the 2.1mm wire that I'm going to use with a size 6 ring. Here I need 58.1mm of wire. So in order to measure that, I'm going to use the caliber, measure the wire, mark it with a Sharpie marker, and then we're going to saw it off. You want to make sure that the blade is loaded properly, and remember, it makes that instrument sound. Both sides should have flat surfaces so that when you bend the metal, it turns to the two ends meet perfectly. You can do that by using a number 2 half-round file, gripping the wire in your bench pin, and filing long strokes away from you at the same angle as the bench pin, so you're creating a flat surface. The next step, once you're all measured, is to anneal the wire with the flame. I'm going to use an oxygen acetylene torch, which is a very hot focused flame. First you turn the red one on, the gas, and slowly turn the oxygen until you get a nice sharp point. When you're heating the metal, you want to go back and forth evenly to create an even coating of heat until the metal turns a cherry red as the flame moves over it. Once you've annealed everything, you want to turn the green off first and then the gas red one. After you heat any metal, we quench it in water, and then you can take it over to the pickle to clean it. We have to create the ring shank. Placing the mandrel over and hammering with the rawhide hammer. You want to hammer all the sides over until the ring is almost touching. Now, to get it to touch perfectly, I actually like to hold it down on the metal and hammer both sides down evenly and closer together. If you're finding that when you hold it up to the light, there's still a little space, which is not good for soldering, then this is a trick to take away any excess metal. You can use your saw frame, size 4/0 saw blade, grip it on your bench pin, and saw through the seam, which you can do a couple of times in order to remove all the excess metal. Once you have a perfect seam, you're ready to solder. Anytime you're soldering a rim blank and it's the very first soldering of any piece, you want to use hard solder. You want to flux all the surfaces. Cut a piece of hard solder with metal shears by cutting one long strip and then placing your finger over and cutting the opposite direction in a little square. A soldering pick or tweezer is what you need to solder in a situation like this. Heat the whole ring evenly until it starts to turn red and the flux bubbles off. Then I can pick the solder up with my pick and place it on the seam. It's important that the entire metal is heated, and then you can focus in on the seam to heat the metal and melt the solder. You can adjust the flame as you need to. Once the solder melts, quickly pull away the flame. Turn the green off first and then the red. With your tweezers, quench the metal into the water, and now you pickle. Ring mandrel again, placing the bent ring over the mandrel. If you have a little hole in your bench, it's used for this. If not, you can use any kind of dapping tool and leaning on top of your bench. I like to lean my body up against it a little bit in order to stabilize and hammer. Hammer and turn at the same time. Hammer flat on a metal surface. And then you have your ring. See if it fits. Perfect.